What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. I am joined here today by the lovely panel of Prime, Will, Ahmed, Carlito, and Scott. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a lot of things that have been happening in Chelsea in the past week. Maybe looking forward to the World Cup, some predictions. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see where we go from here. But guys, before we go ahead and continue, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our future live streams. Leave a comment down below. Check out links in the description for more content that will satisfy you. I don't know what I meant by that. Go ahead and if you want to donate, go ahead.
A little Freudian slip there, Marshall.
Pausing.
Marshall's like Havertz on his own little goal drought.
We'll see.
Wow.
But yeah, guys, make sure you also, if you would like to, donate via super chat or super thanks. All those options are available. But yeah, let's just get this show on the road. Let's start off with this hot topic that seems to have been invading the Chelsea Twitter universe, whatever you want to call it, community for a hot minute now. And I have a tweet here that is pretty recent that I would like to share with you fellas. And then let's go ahead and talk about this young lass here. So here we have Julian Lorenz coming out. If you guys don't know who Julian Lorenz is, works for ESPN. Pretty reliable journalist when it comes to French football. But he is coming out saying ESPN Brazil's story on Endrick. PSG made a £45 million offer. Palmeiras said no. PSG then said they'll rise it to £60 million or euros rather. Sorry. Chelsea made contact and said they'll match PSG offer. He prefers Chelsea at the moment because he likes the Premier League, and Madrid and Barcelona also want him to move soon. And apparently, too, Endrick came to the training ground. I'm not sure how true that is or where that news source is from, but
maybe a virtual tour. I don't know how he got here. He would have seen him in London.
Did Frank Khaled take a picture with him?
Oh,
no, I think what happened is
that would have been great. That would have been great.
That dude, I swear, that dude hounds every one of our players. Like, can I get a picture?
Yeah.
Can I get a picture? Oh my god, guys!
I think with the
my 2 cents
ground.
on this. One second. My 2 cents on this Endrick thing, right? Is that look. As of right now, we don't need a player like him right now. I think everyone's looking at the situation because some people are like 50-50 on this guy. People are excited. Some people are like, what do we need him? Like, we're not focused on the right things. He's not going to help the team now and all that. I get that. I think it's okay to do what we did in the transfer window, which is focus on everything all at once, focus on youth and development and the future of the club, focus on players that we need now and focusing on players we have to get out of the club and stuff. I think it's possible to do everything all at once. I think that they're going for Endrick is good. He is very talented. I don't know if it's good scouting work because I feel like most clubs know about Endrick by now, but regardless, if Chelsea are making moves as they should, the same thing goes for Bellingham too. Like, you know, Bellingham being a hot commodity, it'd be a little odd if Chelsea didn't throw their hat into the ring. You know what I'm saying? So with Endrick, look, this is good for me. If they make moves for him, if we end up getting Endrick, that's someone we can look forward to in the future. But Will, what were you going to say before I interrupted you?
I was just going to say, I think the training ground thing was, I think Silva hosted like a thing. Or it was Silva's family and Chelsea hosted something. I don't know. I don't know if it was like they met somewhere like a neutral sort of ground and they just had dinner or something. But apparently it was Thiago Silva who reached out and tried to Silva was asked by Chelsea to sort of reach out and use his status to
There you go.
for his advantage. So
Who's got that in the background? Prime?
Not me.
It's coming through your mic.
No. I'm listening to something. But
Yeah, it sounds like it's Chelsea fan TV.
Yeah.
All right, then that was you, Ahmed. But
No, it's not me because I'm not listening to that. I'm listening to like some Ronaldo quotes. Sorry.
okay. Carlito, what do you think about this Endrick stuff, man?
I think he's going to be amazing. You know, the player comp. Oh fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, the player comp is very simple. It's Romario. He plays like Romario. And any of the younger fans either watching this or on the panel, if you haven't seen Romario, dude, go. YouTube is awesome for this shit. Go YouTube Romario videos. He was unbelievable. This guy plays like him. So that's the comp, and I love that we're getting ahead of this, the next Neymar, the next Romario, whatever it is. I love that we are in contention, and not only contention, I think we're the front runners. I think we're the front runners to sign him for sure. I mean, Thiago Silva, he's not just a great player; he's a great recruiter, and I mean, having
great
someone
influence.
like that, oh hell yeah! I mean, this kid probably idolizes Silva, so And again, you guys, I mean, everybody's like, oh, we're not focusing on the right things. We're not buying him now. He's not coming for another, year and a half. So this is a good thing. This is what we want, because as soon as we do buy him, everyone's going to be super happy that we did. And I think we are going to get him. But on top of everything, the kid is great. He's a great player. He's probably going to play what? Striker? I mean, we'll by that time, Aubameyang will be gone, and we will need a new striker. And shit, I mean, if we have one ready-made that is really fast, really dynamic, really explosive, and just a real cool player. I mean, I'm so down with this, man. I'm so down with this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too about him, his positioning, right? He can play as a striker. I've seen some of the comps. I could see him playing as a cam as well, a winger. Look, I'm not going to put too much stake on that just because we kind of were convinced of the same thing with Kai Havertz, and now we see what's happening. But also, like,
oh god,
Endrick is so young. It's like he's playing in Brazil. I did say this when I saw the comp too. I was like, look, I want to see him match that kind of intensity, energy, and technicality in the Premier League as well, in a tougher league, not just Brazil, But I mean, Ahmed, you have some points you want to make about Endrick? Anyone else have some points you want to make about Endrick?
I think when it comes to Endrick, yeah, he's a great young talent. It would be great, obviously, if you could get him. But what we also need to realize here, while we do have an advantage right now, Real Madrid haven't come in yet, and the thing with Real Madrid is that, if I'm not mistaken, they're only like I think they're over they're just on the. Not maximum, but like they've got a maximum number of players which are non-Spanish in the squad. But I do know that I think at the end of the year, either Vinicius or Militao get the Spanish passports, basically. So then they become like Spanish citizens in essence. So maybe when they get that sort of stuff, they could then get in. But they could then come in and they could match us, in terms of transfers. And they also have they probably have a bigger thing of like, oh, we're Real Madrid. The glory and everything and that sort of thing. So it's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. Real Madrid and Barcelona haven't come in for him. And you know what? I
wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't
be
personally worried about Barcelona.
No.
True. Fair. That is very fair, actually.
Yeah. But I think the one that you need to worry about, and like from what I'm seeing from reports, is Madrid. Madrid's the one that I would be really worried about.
So let me interject on that. With Real Madrid, their timing and how they're aligning Benzema's contract, it aligns precisely with Erling Haaland. And I think it is the worst kept secret in the world that they're going to go for him in 18 months. And I think that they're going to get him because I think Erling Haaland is hell-bent on playing in every league in the world.
I agree. But I also think PSG are a serious competition as well, because we all know Mbappe doesn't want to stay there for his whole career, and eventually he's going to be like Real Madrid might go in for him again when his contract is down a little bit more. So I
hear you, but don't you think, dude, age of Messi and Neymar is going to be 31 right pretty soon? Like by the time that he gets to PSG, Mbappe's not even going to be there. Messi will be gone. Messi will be going to David Beckham's project in Florida, and then Neymar. Who knows? He'll be a booze hound by then. Come on, man.
And I think also is also one thing to add is that with PSG, are they gonna splash the cash on other top talents again?
Maybe.
Maybe if they win I think for that club in particular, it's like UCL or bust. Is Endrick gonna help them win the UCL?
Maybe. I don't know. I've never seen anything on him, to be honest. By hearing his name, I can't really say anything. I've not seen anything of him. So
he's quite good.
What I will say is, again, I've not watched anything from him, but the last kid from Brazil to garner this much fanfare, I'd say has turned out pretty good. I'd say he's had a decent career.
Which one
And
is
if
that?
That'd be Neymar. That would be Neymar.
Oh, not
Wait,
Robinho, huh?
Wait, Scott, are you talking about Oscar, who we bought in 2012, or Nathan?
Yeah,
Those Brazilian, or Kennedy? Those
the
Brazilian.
last guy who had
Guys, they
this
kidding
much
you.
hype
I
coming
love
from the
that.
Brazilian league.
Yeah, Oscar and Nathan, those guys, yeah.
Now, Oscar turned out good, man. Let's be real. Oscar at Chelsea plus was alright, man.
Listen, okay,
Are we
look, I
going
haven't
through
watched.
revisionist history
Look,
right now? Is that what's happening?
I haven't watched the guy.
He scored a
So
goal
I'm
against
not gonna-
Juventus.
I haven't watched the guy, so I'm not going to pretend I have an opinion. So I don't really
Yeah.
care. I just don't like the way that a report comes out and all of a sudden the Chelsea fan base pretend that they've seen it, right? And as if that will be amazing for us. Like, can people just be honest? You haven't watched him, it's okay. He's playing in a Brazilian league. Like, not everyone's gonna have seen him. It's okay to say that.
Yeah,
People
it's
just be real.
it's completely understandable. I've never seen him play in a full night. I've seen like the odd clip here and there, but not. I've learned the hard way in the past of getting excited.
Yeah, I don't have. I hope if we get him, I hope he does brilliantly. Obviously, but like I'm not gonna pretend like I've seen him and I know what to expect. And I don't watch highlights of players because highlights give you a false sense of reality. There are highlight.
Oh,
clips
yes,
that
they
make
do.
Havertz-
Oh, yes, they do.
There are highlight clips that make Havertz and Mount look like world class.
Oh.
Werner too. Let's not get it wrong.
There's
Werner's better than Mount and Havertz, but let's not have that conversation.
There's a lot of I'm glad that we are going in for a lot of young players, especially like attacking players. I do think the club realised that a lot of the I'll call them dross for like a PG of what I want to say about some of them, but I think they know that we've got issues in that, and they're just trying to build for the future, which is, I guess, like good to see. But yeah, I'm not really fussed as of now about like this deal, but obviously this could bite us in the arse if we don't like.
Carlito, you've seen him, yes?
Yes.
Can you compare him to like a modern day player?
Aguero.
Oh, he's a striker. I thought he was
He's a
creator.
forward.
He plays. He's a forward, but he plays usually like everywhere.
Cool.
I've seen him play everywhere.
Yeah, his turn of pace is extraordinary. Like again, the best comp is Romario, but he's he's a little older. But yeah. I mean, like, remember when Aguero used to play for Atletico Madrid, and it was just, I mean, him in the box just devastating because no one could touch him. He was too quick. He was his first two steps were just too explosive, and this kid is very similar.
And he's 15. So
16.
he's not ready to.
16.
16. So he's not ready to make the jump straight away. Then.
Well, he can't.
Probably
he
not.
can't.
Can't anyway. Yeah, he can't anyway.
No, Brazil
you have to
leagues,
be
they don't
18,
let
right?
you. They don't let you leave until you're an adult.
It's not even. It's not even that. It's you can't. Premier League. You can't. We couldn't sign him to a contract, but until he's 18. Like we could sign him. Like it's weird how it works, but yeah, he couldn't join us until he's 18.
No, but didn't Liverpool do that? They got Sterling from QPR's academy. He was in Liverpool's academy. Then he made the start in their first team.
That's just that's an English thing. This is Brazil, man. We're doing Brazil rules.
It works differently with like foreign players and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's a way to protect the players.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know that. Cool.
Also, Prime. There's the other thing of work permit, whether he'll get one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he is going to be like Nathan. Great. That's cool, man.
It's like,
Jesus.
Cool. When when this guy's a bum in 2 years, hey, I called it. Let's go.
This guy. And also, the Carlito isn't saying he's like Aguero. He's just saying that there's similar play styles to
Yeah,
Aguero.
it's a similar style of play. Dude, almost no one is Aguero. Aguero's one of the greatest strikers ever had.
I was going to say,
I hate how fan bases, you can't like make any like similarities or like similar comparisons without coming off as like, oh, you think he's like Aguero? Oh, you think he's like fucking Neymar? Oh, you think it's no one's saying that.
Marshall, when you have a certain Chelsea fan saying things like, Mount is like
Johan
KDB. No, not even that.
Oh
No,
my
I'm not even
God.
talking about Johnny.
Minerals,
I'm not even
bro.
talking about Johnny. When you have people saying that Mount
Yeah.
is our KDB, this isn't
Oh.
Johnny, by the way. This is a very big Chelsea man that said this. It is not Johnny. If you guys want to know, just ask.
It's you.
Okay, I want to know who was
Just
it. I
say
want to know
Mount
who
is
was
our
it.
But when you
attacking
hear things like
midfielder,
that,
okay?
then obviously
Don't
people are
say
going to react.
fucking-
when you say things like
don't
that.
say
Prime, who
fucking
was it? Who was it?
KDB.
Who was it? Who said that?
Do you guys
You're
know who
allowed to
Nini
put the
FC is?
receipts out there if you. Oh, of course
Know
I
who
know.
Nini FC is?
No, Nini. We love Nini. He's a
Yeah,
longtime fan of the channel.
This was when Mount was at, I think he was either at Vitesse or he was at Derby, and he was saying like Mount is our KDB. They even have similar hairstyles. That was what.
It's interesting with Nini. I think his
Shameless.
videos are great, and I think that Nini, he comes across as a very calm guy. He gets pretty pissed on Twitter. He can get really mad, but I think his videos are good. So I hear you, Prime, but at the same time, he's not KDB. KDB's one of the greatest players in the history of this game.
Oh no, I'm not saying he is, but no, I'm just saying like I understand why some fans when they hear a certain player.
I think fans want Mason Mount to be that good, but unfortunately, he is an average player.
Oh,
I
Carlito,
mean,
you don't need to tell me. You don't need to tell
It
me.
is-
we know
it is
this.
getting-
We know this.
Hey,
But I
Marshall,
will say, talk to me.
I've just watched an Endrick compilation. I can confirm he's the next Luis Suarez. Okay, I'm now an expert. I've seen a 3-minute compilation. We should spend the money.
That's all.
there
That's all
we
we
go.
needed, right? That's all we needed.
All we needed was that 3-minute compilation.
When he's had 5 touches against Crystal Palace. Don't complain.
I'm joking.
Hey,
yeah.
Marshall, Sadiq just
talk
texted
to
me
me.
this. Ronaldo to Chelsea. What do you think?
Oh, fuck
No,
off.
no.
I'm not even.
Yo,
I'm not even.
some of
We
the- some
listen.
of these
Listen.
quotes-
I'm not
Oh
going to
my
entertain
God.
that. But what I will say, I'm glad you brought up Ronaldo because we can talk about our Ronaldo next. And the thing that I want to talk about is this Ronaldo's recent comments.
Oh my god. Yo.
So, hey, let's have a discussion. Ahmed, you can chime in first, but let's go ahead and bring this up. Obviously, everyone's going crazy about this. It's great to hear Mason Mount say these things, right? So, anyways, Mount
No, it's
goes
not.
on Instagram and he says, "We haven't played to the level we expect of ourselves as Chelsea. You all deserve more from us. When we're back from the World Cup, we are getting straight back to it and pushing ourselves to a higher level. We have the best fans in the country, and we will make you proud this season." Mason Mount. Okay, listen. As cringe as that is, I get where he's coming from, and that's great and all, but why now? Why just now? Like, where has this mentality been the whole fucking season? Like, where has this been in preseason? Where has this been after the Real Madrid results? Like, why? Like, that's what annoys me a little bit. And
When
also,
was
like,
this?
the fact that you feel that you need to
Today.
come out I
Today.
think this was today. The fact that
Today.
you feel like you need to come out and say this, like you have been the standard and everyone's been letting you down almost. Like, that's almost how I read it. That the whole team has been letting you down and you've been, like, you're the representative. Like, if anyone should be saying this, it should be probably like maybe Aspie, maybe Jorginho, maybe Thiago Silva, 100%, right?
Yeah.
But Mount, why are you saying this? You're one of the people
Not
that have been
even
playing
that.
poorest this season.
So, Marshall,
even
I've
that.
got. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Timing. Sorry,
Prime and
just
then
quickly.
Carlito.
You're good. You're
Timing
good. You're
matters.
good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Timing matters. Like, if he had said this right after losing against Arsenal, that's cool, fair enough, I guess, because it's a big London derby. He lost,
Mhm.
yada yada yada. You're saying it's playing against Newcastle.
Mm.
24 hours later, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
perform. I don't like. And Man United fans were sick of this apology stuff, Rashford and stuff we're doing a year or two ago. Like, at a point, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't. Every game, why are you apologizing? Go the next game, go out and win, and say we did this for the fans. Go out and win the next game. That would have
Okay.
been a better apology.
All right, so here we go, Marshall. Here are your daily minerals. Okay, this is with a. Okay, so he quote tweeted this. He quote tweeted what minerals,
Over it.
bruv. So he
the context.
he quote he quote he quote tweeted this. What Mason Mount just said. And he says he cares. He loves Chelsea. He's proper Chelsea. He's a leader and future captain. It's a shame that too many aren't not the. His English is terrible. The shame that there are too many not the same. Pay Mason Mount what he wants and deserves. He's more than delivered at such a young age with his best years ahead of him. 23 is not young. Our future captain and will be an all-time legend at Chelsea. Letting him leave would be the biggest mistake in Chelsea's history. Number one, he is not going to be fucking captain. One of these things, Marshall, this is him hedging. This is Mason Mount hedging, trying to show leadership that he thinks he's going to be the next captain. He is fucking not going to be the next captain. This dude is so full of shit. And the problem I have with Johnny is that it's not Johnny the person. I'm sure the guy's really nice, but it's Johnny the idea, because he represents a subculture of this fan base that is so whack and is so into a player versus the club. They care about a player versus the health and future and safety of the club. They care about the player instead of fucking Chelsea. And I feel like these guys, all they do is watch the player. They don't actually watch the club. They don't actually even care about the club. They care about the player. And it is so weird to me. It is foreign to me. It does not compute in my brilliant brain. I can't get it. I don't understand. Hell, when's it going to end, Robbie? Help me understand, Robbie.
Did Johnny even name one footballing trait in that whole tweet?
He can't.
Proper Chelsea, man, the minerals.
When he's had debates on Mount, he only ever mentions that he's proper Chelsea, which he's not. He came from Portsmouth. Like he supports Portsmouth. Number two, he only brings up his like off the ball stuff, so like his running and shit. Like he doesn't talk about anything on the ball. The thing is, like, two things with the quote tweet in those comments first. Number one, he's never going to be captain of this football club, like permanent captain, because he's not got the on-field leadership. He just doesn't have it. You can tell in the way he plays. He does not have on-pitch leadership.
Big up Lewis.
Not in the same way Silva does. Not in the same way Reece James does. Not even in the same way Jorginho at his best does. He doesn't have that. And probably never will have that. It's not a bad thing. It just means he's never going to be captain. With the proper Chelsea, he's just not. If he cared about Chelsea as well, he wouldn't be asking for 300 grand a week. Like he would be happy accepting 250 or less just to play for Chelsea if he cared about Chelsea that much. He obviously doesn't. He cares more about the money. On the actual comments, Mount's comments themselves, I kind of respect him. Like in terms of, I respect him taking accountability. I like that because I think more players need to do that.
Yes.
I will say this is twice he's done this within the space of either 2 weeks or a month. It is getting to the point where, and Lewis quote tweeted this, I see him in the chat, he quote tweeted the comments and said the same thing I'm about to say. At the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. I respect you saying this, but then when you come back from the World Cup, regardless of the type of World Cup you have, that Bournemouth game, that best be the best game of your season. That best be the best game of your season. Because if it's not, these words mean fuck all. Like if you come back and you still perform the same way you're performing now, your comments mean fuck all, mean nothing.
Yeah, Scott, I just think he's so disingenuous. I think this is just him hedging. I think this is him telling Chelsea that he wants to be the next captain instead of Reece James. And on top of that, he wants Reece James money? Are you kidding me? Reece James is not just one of the best players in England. Reece James is one of the best players, period. He is the best at his position, and he's one of the best in the world. That is why he's getting 300K. Mason Mount, are you fucking delusional? What is wrong with you?
Carlito, I don't think he wants the same money as Reece James. I think he wants more money than Reece James.
Oh, that is outrageous. That is outrageous.
That's
the point. And this is where this idea, and I've said this before, this idea that people are proper Chelsea and they care about Chelsea Football Club. No, they fucking don't. When you've got youth players, or not youth players, but youth players, yeah, but you've got like products from the academy who want upwards of 250 grand a week, who want like even Reece James to a certain extent, like he wanted 250 grand a week, and that's fine. He deserved it, but it's not a case of he cares about Chelsea that much. Because no, if he cared about Chelsea that much, man, he would accept like 200, 150. Like he'd accept a decent amount. No, these guys want to get paid at the end of the day. At the end of the day, they want their money. They want to get paid, which isn't a bad thing. But people need to realize they don't give a fuck about this club at the end of the day. They care about themselves because a footballer's career is short. And if you do something serious, it's even shorter.
Yeah,
like you got people are in at 25.
Hey, I gotta head out. But thanks for letting me on.
Yeah. Final words, Carlito.
Yes, this is important.
Yeah.
Last Johnny Middle's tweet, because it's again, I'm not shitting on the man. I'm shitting on the idea of him. Okay, the real Chelsea fans respect, love, rate, and get Mason Mount. The rest who don't are just plastic part-time frauds. Part-time. You think my fucking fandom is part-time. Number 2, you think I'm a fraud? Dickhead, you're prioritizing a player over the fucking club. Who's fraudulent here? Who's fraudulent here? You are, bruv. I'll see you guys later.
Yes.
Have a
No,
good
but Carlito's
one.
right. Like, in
Appreciate
reality,
Carlito.
even our legends, right? Like, for me, my favorite ever Chelsea player is Drogba. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Wait, I thought it was Mikel.
no, well, Mikel's like top 3 for me, but or top 5. But whatever.
Okay.
My point being, like, even Mikel, yeah, mention him. Like, as much as I love these guys for what they've done for my club, in the grand scheme of things, I don't care about them the same way I care about Chelsea. And these guys are actual legends for me. Like, these guys are actual quote-unquote proper Chelsea. They would never get played off the park like we did against Arsenal. They would never get played off the park like we did against Man City. Not without dying on that field. Like, people say proper Chelsea. They know what that actually means. These are we're talking about legends who have won titles, who have gone to the new camp and man down and died on that field and came away with. I mean, we drew the game, but like we won the tie. These are guys who have gone to the Allianz Arena in the Champions League final. You know, some of these players playing on broken legs, and we won on penalties. That is proper Chelsea. Saying Mount and Havertz, these guys who, just because they scored a fluky Champions League goal, it makes them a legend, or it means that we should support them over the club. It's stupidity. No one would ever support, as much as you guys all love Terry and Lampard and Drogba, no one's going to support them over Chelsea. No one's backing Drogba over Chelsea. At least I'm not.
It's also down to social media as well. It's also down to like putting a persona out there as well and getting a certain like group of people surrounding you, and obviously at the end of the day getting likes, follows, and donations and all that sort of thing. So
yeah. Here's like, go ahead, finish your point, Will. I'm sorry.
It's just I don't really have a problem with what Mount said. I think it's just the timing, as Prime said, is a bit. I think Koulibaly also said something similar or something like that. But it's like I don't really care about what he said, but it's very. I think it's a little bit cowardly that it's now when you're going to go off to England for 6 weeks and you're going to try. It's almost like people are going to quote unquote forget because it's the World Cup. 6 weeks is a long time in football as well. So you know,
and people are going to be.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I actually agree about the timing, and that's why I think I disagree with Prime in terms of the timing of the game it was after. It's more of what's to come. Whereas like this could be done after the Newcastle game, and it'd be fine if we had a game this coming weekend where you could show it. But now you haven't. You've got a World Cup. You're going to be picked like every game for probably because it's Southgate, and it's like you can play different for England than you do for Chelsea, and you don't have to worry about Chelsea until you get back. And people can, like has been mentioned, people can forget, and it's like. You can then put in the same shit performances you have, and that's the thing. And a lot of us won't forget, some of us won't forget, but some will, and that's the problem. It's like doing this now, while I respect it, makes no sense. Should have done this before the Newcastle game.
No, Scott, what I meant is like I don't care about them coming out with an apology when it's going to be the same performances. But if you're going to do one, you do it. You can do it after the Arsenal game because at least for the fans, it would make maybe something of a difference. To me, though, I don't care either way. Just perform. Your apology and winning the next game shows that you're actually sorry. Not putting in the same performance. Because Mount will go to the World Cup or he'll come back after the World Cup and still end up stinking. So what does this apology mean? Are you going to apologize when we lose to Bournemouth?
That's the thing. And that's where it is. He has to perform now after these comments, or they mean fuck all. Like they probably mean fuck all anyway, but now he has to perform, otherwise they mean fuck all, and it's just empty. It's just empty gestures, and it's like if that's all he's going to do, because he's made these similar comments before. It was after was it the Salzburg or the Zagreb game where he got the man of the match, and he made those comments, and he said up until this point in the season he hadn't been at whatever it was. I'm paraphrasing, but it was like he hadn't been up to like. He knows he hasn't been up to the level that he needs to show up to that point. And again, I respected it back then because it's accountability. But
yes,
again, with the Rashford thing, like I agree with Prime with United last season and the Bruno. It was Bruno as well. It's like at what point it just got to a point where it's like who gives a fuck now? Now you're just doing this as like this has almost become kind of just a ritual at this point. It's almost just become, we're just going to put this out to try and appease the fans instead of actually performing. So no, I don't give a fuck. Don't say anything. I can prefer you to not say anything, just perform on the pitch. And I wonder if it's going to become that.
It's also
it's one of those cases where actions will speak louder than words. We've all been critical here of the Potter, of the process, of the players. Like we've been doing it a lot. And as much as I've read some comments of people saying, oh, unobjective and all that shit, it's so hard to be objective with Chelsea right now because of the performances, because of how bad we've been, because of how consistently bad we've been. Like we can only say so much. It's like, it's like the beat of a dead horse right now. We're just going over and over, and it's just absurd. But that being said, if this is how you feel, Mason Mount, then rather than say it, like I said, and like Scott's saying, and I think that's what most of us here agree on, just put it out on the pitch. And yeah, the timing is a little poor after the Newcastle game. Maybe before it would have been better. But you know what? That's the mentality that should be in the club from the jump. Not just now, not just like after a defeat. We should have been saying stuff like that since preseason.
But Marshall, do you know what fascinates me with this as well?
Yeah.
It fascinates me that Mount is sort of like known as the quote-unquote player that gets it and stuff like that. But I just don't... I just... When all these things happen, and I'm not blaming him for this, because I completely respect he's in a position where, let's be honest, most footballers, if not everyone, are out for themselves anyway. So the contract thing, you're asking for 300 grand, however much it is a week. Like, you're kind of holding us to a stalemate where we don't really know what to do, because do we want to lose you? Probably not. We don't want to risk losing you for free in 18 months' time. Yeah. But you're also like the poster boy for Chelsea, and you might even become it for England because how much you play under Southgate. And you're on, like, for example, he's on my fucking Pepsi Max cam right now, and he's like the poster boy for Sky. He's acting like he is the player that has to take on all this responsibility, and which is fair enough. But I just you're not in a position where you really care. And I'm not blaming him for that. I just don't believe I think they're a bit shallow, these words. And he cares about the club to a good level.
Obviously.
I don't know, just something with this sort of statement doesn't sit right with me.
And you know what? Here's the thing about Mason Mount, and we did touch on this before with the fan base and all that. Look, it's not just Johnny. It's not, it's not just Alex on Twitter or Nini or all these influencers. Like, here's the thing that I've said about these kind of influencers in the past. If you are allowed to be critical of these players, you are allowed to say what you want to say about these players and still have a respectable opinion, because I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I listen to these people speak, and they're reasonable. They have the ability to be reasonable. They have the ability to be objective and grounded in their opinions. It's totally there. But once you bring up their favorite player, once they, to me, the way that they see it, it's like, oh, I'm Team Mount, and there's Team Jorginho, and Team this and Team that. And it's like, oh, as soon as you say something about, oh, I got to fight back because I'm on this team. And it's like, no. This is Chelsea.
Toxic.
There shouldn't be infighting within the team. This is not how, that works.
You know what it is though, Marshall? The problem is we've become the players of the badge, while the badge over the players, and that's what it is at the end of the day.
And it's
become a problem, and that's what's become a problem.
And do you know when that
I don't see this in other clubs either.
No, you do. No, we do. That's where this happens.
It.
This happens when the standards of your club drop and you become a quote unquote average or small club. It happened to Arsenal for a decade, supporting bums like Jack Wilshere, Ramsey, Walcott, Ozil when he was stinking up the field, supporting these bums instead of backing, trying to raise the standards of their team and accepting that these guys are just not it. I have been in Man United these past 5-6 years, backing the likes of Martial, Rashford, Bruno, McTominay, Maguire, when they're not doing anything, they're not performing, they're being bums. We're doing the same thing these past 2 years, 2-3 years, backing Mount, Havertz, having debates over Mendy and Kepa and stuff like that. It's only because we won the Champions League that it looks this way. But in reality, it's the same thing.
And I guess my point in saying all this too, and then I'll let you finish your point. My point in saying in all this is that I think the fan base would respect these people who, like, I'll just put myself out there. You guys know I love Kai Havertz. You guys know I really want Kai Havertz to succeed in this club and all that jazz. And some of you don't rate me for it, whatever. I don't give a shit. I have a favorite player, okay? Everyone's allowed to have a favorite player. But I am reasonable about it. I am willing to say things like, at the end of this, at the end of the season, I would not extend Kai's contract because he's been playing like shit. If you had reasonable takes like that, and you still want to say that Mount is your favorite player, that is totally okay, and people would listen to you a lot more, and people would actually be reasonable with you. But because you have this favoritism towards a certain player, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, then you feed into the complete polar opposite of it, which is the hating of it. And then you just feed back into the overrating and the freaking hate and the overrating. And then we just have this huge bubble, which is now Mason Mount thinking that he is the sole face of Chelsea, the representative of Chelsea, because he's so spoken about on social media.
But whose fault is that, though? Let's be real.
It's the fans. That bit is the fans.
Okay, hold on. My answer to that, I would probably, if I had a point to finger to someone, it would probably be Frank Lampard.
No. No. Let me just go quickly, Will. It's two things though. When it comes to Mount, is the fans. Like, he's the first player that I've ever seen. Yeah, like at his age, at our football club, get a whole banner. Like, he was getting a whole banner across. I don't remember any time that Terry got that when throughout his prime career, Drogba at the stadium. And like, you've overhyped him to a level where it's actually crazy from a fan perspective. And then you've got, like, because like Lampard of course brought him in, the club have sort of seen him as like the new prodigal son, basically, in essence. And they failed to see that he's not, barring like he maybe the improvement slightly on GNA, he's not adding anything to the team.
That's and the thing is, the reason why I would blame the fans as well, and I'm not blaming Mason himself for being the poster boy. Like, I would, if we were him, we would obviously want that to happen. We'd want to make the most money, be the most liked, and he seems like from what I've heard about him, he actually seems like and seen of him, he actually seems like quite a nice guy, and it's not personal because I don't even think he's like a bad player. I just don't think he's like this. He's not like, we used to have Hazard as our poster boy, and why was that? Why was Hazard our poster boy?
Because he performed.
One, he performed, but also these companies and Chelsea itself, the reason why he's the poster boy, it's supply and demand. People want to see, people around the ground want to see massive posters of Mount everywhere. They want to buy Mount shirts. And even like fans itself, he makes a lot of money for this club because he's popular, whether it's the match-going fans or the English fans or even people abroad. It doesn't really matter. Like, there's a reason why he's doing all these adverts for people. There's a reason why he is a poster boy for Chelsea in England. There's a reason why he's on a lot of energy drink sponsors. It's because people do like him and people do overrate him. And that's not his fault. And I don't blame him because he's getting that bag. And you've got to respect that. No matter what, you've got to respect that.
Well, on the topic of Mason Mount and proper Chelsea and minerals and all that fun stuff that we love to talk about here on the channel, I do want to elaborate a little more on the phenomena that is Lewis Hall. So where I want to kind of talk about is, I guess I want to see what you guys think about, like, the attractive thing about Mason Mount that I know, for one, is the story, right? This kid grew up Chelsea fan, went through the academy, showed up to the team. I guess to some people, he was pretty impressive, kept playing. He's always being played at Chelsea, always being played in England. It's a lovely story, right? You love to see it. Kid grows up, fan of a football club. Now he's a starter for his favorite football club. Here's the thing, though. I think, how do I word this? With Lewis Hall, I think what I like a lot about what's been happening with him is that he showed up on the pitch, and I guess this is the question I want to ask you guys. What makes it that this guy, Lewis Hall, is coming into this team and outperforming the same people that come to the academy, like Mason Mount and Gallagher? Why is Lewis Hall outperforming these guys? Is it the story? Is it the motivation to make it to Chelsea? Is it actual just talent? What is it to you guys?
I I mean, I don't. I think it's very simple, to be honest. I think it's sample size as well. Like he's played 3 games, and don't get me wrong, he looks talented. I'm not gonna like bash him at all for the games that he's played because he has looked very good and quite composed. He doesn't feel like he's a young player if you didn't know who he was.
It's just what baffles me though, not Lewis. I'm sorry, I read the comment. Will, is that how is it that this kid at 18 years old comes into this club and outperforms most of the team?
Yeah,
and he's not done this the first time either.
Maybe he's got something. Maybe he's got something to prove. But it's like we also haven't seen him play bad yet, and I feel like when he does have a couple bad games, which every young player does, I feel like people might start to quickly turn on him. Like for example, when Mount had a few good games when he broke through at Chelsea, like especially against Leicester and Norwich, and I'm pretty sure everyone at that point thought he was like a decent player. Oh, we've got a new young attacker. He did well or midfielder. He did well at Derby last year. He might carry it on. He's got a few goals and assists. But then we saw over a consistent period of time their flaws, and it happens with every player. And it could happen with Lewis Hall. It might not. So I'm just reserving judgment. But he does look talented. Like he does look talented. But why has it got to be another fucking wing back? Well, I love that we're producing good players, but can we?
He's not a wing back though.
He's a
midfielder.
He's a number 8.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of mad. How fair enough.
Here's the issue. Lewis Hall is brand new and fresh, and he's done very good on his couple of appearances. But the fan base, as they always do, because we're desperate for anything positive, will leech onto this guy and build him up before he's had a chance to even put down anything tangible. Okay. Second of all, he's probably not been around the first team a lot, but maybe in training, but not anything else. So he's not been affected by the turgid swamp performances of the squad so far. Which will happen if it will happen eventually. Listen, that's the situation we're in this moment. That these players will see Lewis Hall get all, I wouldn't say all the headlines, but you know what I mean, get praise what he did and everything like that. But it won't affect them. It won't go, Jesus, this guy's come in on 2 performances and basically people are saying he's done more than some of us have done all season for the past 6 months. It won't affect them because let's face it, this squad know that none of them are outperforming each other. So the people who get picked, they know that the ones behind them just can't be bothered. So, and they're not outperforming or taking their chances to come in. So why would they care if an 18-year-old comes in and does well? You know what it has done? It actually works in their favour a bit. Takes the limelight, takes the light off them for a bit. You know what I mean? Oh, he did this. Oh, I'm going to hide from this. You know, stuff like that. Oh yeah, Lewis Hall's the new flavour of the week. You know, now he's coming for 2 weeks. You know, Chelsea fans are annoyed. Yeah, but you know what? They're going to speak about Lewis Hall for a bit, and now we're in the World Cup for 6 weeks. They're going to forget by the time we get back on the 27th against who is it? 27th.
I believe. Bournemouth. Yeah, there you go.
Bournemouth. Yeah, they're going to come back. They're going to forget everything because they would enjoyed watching the World Cup. Stuff like that, you know. Lewis Hall's great, but let's just not. I'm not overpraising. He's done okay. He's done okay to good. Yeah, impressive that at that young age he's come into this situation. It's not letting him affect him, but I don't want to see any Lewis Hall hives. I don't want to see Lewis Hall stands, stuff like this.
Yeah, no, I get that.
He's definitely solidified himself as second choice. Behind Cucurella. He's above Chilwell now. It's like no, he's there. He's an option. He's an option now. So let's just pump the brakes because I've had enough. I've had enough of every. Don't worry,
no more hives.
Coben can fix everything. If I had my way, guys, I would turn that place into a car park. I swear to God, turn that place into a car park because the reliance on Cobham is a fantastic program that helps sets these guys up for their life, whether at Chelsea or in the Premier League or something. They do educational program. They do an excellent job, yeah. But let's face it, as usual in this country, you get a gem or a 1 or 2 gems per generation. Our gem's Reece James. Yeah?
Yes.
Our sole gem is Reece James. Our diamond in the rough might be Chalobah. So that's it, yeah? That is it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's not go back, oh yeah, well, just take some kids from Cobham. They're not all going to be great, yeah? Or they're going to be bang average, yeah? I don't want to take a bunch of kids from Cobham because they're not good enough.
Or some people who are asking to re-sign players that we sent off from Cobham.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Billy Gilmore.
Bring back Levi.
Yeah, I've maintained that, man.
But people are going, yeah, in January, recall Levi Colwell.
Yeah.
Why isn't Levi Colwell getting in the Brighton team if he's that good? You know, why isn't Billy Gilmore getting in the Brighton team if he's that good? Do you know what I mean? It's just, but Lewis Hall, back to Lewis Hall, very good the last 2 games. But let's just explain Lewis Hall. Listen, I know Tuchel used him a couple of times, I think, in the FA Cup last year. Like I say, he's not a wing back; he's a midfielder. Listen, let's be honest. Lewis Hall was only playing because Ben Chilwell got injured. Let's be very honest about this.
Fair.
Okay?
Yeah, that's very true.
Very honest about this. Has he taken his chance? Absolutely. I'm glad for him. But let's be serious. No one be talking about Lewis Hall if Ben Chilwell was not injured. No one even mentioned Lewis Hall until someone said he was going to be in the squad for the Man City game. Let's be honest. No one's calling for Lewis Hall. So, we move.
He's not wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all, Andrew. I agree. The only thing I would just push back on is that, like, obviously, I think I'm not trying to overpraise him, not trying to overhype him. That much, I mean, we can agree on that. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that even though there is this hype and all that stuff, there's reason for it. I mean, it is reasonable that these players these fans are happy with his performance and all that, because to be honest, it's some of the best performances we've seen in a while. It's been really, really shit at Chelsea.
But
and I don't know if it's because the standard's low or
his performance is not outstanding. Okay? Let's be honest, okay? It's good, okay? Done the basics right, okay? Didn't make a mistake, okay? Okay? You could have said, oh, we had a couple of chances against Man City. I don't expect him to score, so I'm not going to put it on him. But it's not like he's come in, tore up, and destroyed Man City on that left-hand side, and we're going, Jesus Christ, why have you kept Lewis Hall hidden for all this time? Why haven't you released him? But I'm saying, we're so desperate and in the mud. We are so desperate for any light.
The bar has been so low.
Positivity that this kid coming in and doing for him, I think this is good. I'm praising him. Done a good job. That we are going, oh, Lewis Hall, stuff like that. It's like, no, he done a good job. He did a satisfactory job. He did a good one where I wasn't like going, one where yesterday I was like, why are you taking off Lewis Hall? Keep Lewis Hall on. He can play the 90 minutes. He's not going to the World Cup. You know what I mean? He's going with you to training. Keep him on for the 90 minutes. Give him his first 90 minutes. He's earned it. He's not done anything wrong. He kept the right-hand side very quiet yesterday. He was part of that. He did very well. That's what I'm saying. Just let's pump the brakes. Let's not tag him. I know you're not going to, but someone's saying, oh yeah, definitely now. Tell you what, he's challenging Cucurella for that first team spot. Shut up. Shut up. When Chilwell comes back in February, I don't know, and I'm only guessing it, you might see less of Lewis Hall, and that should be it in his breakthrough season. We shouldn't see a lot of Lewis Hall. We should see, I don't want him playing a lot. When he comes back, I don't want him starting against Forest, or Bournemouth. Little dribs and drabs here and there. Play next game. We want to see him play is the FA Cup 3rd round. That's when he should be used next. Yeah. It's just a little sparingly here and there, but let's just because I tell you right now, Mount, and I'm not Mount's biggest fan, but he is going to play. He's going to cross 200 games for Chelsea this season. He's probably already done it. Now I'm speaking about it, but he's probably close to 200 games in 3.5 seasons for Chelsea. Do you know how insane that is for him at that young age to be playing? And remember, most of these games he plays a full game, and he plays for England full as well. Okay, by the time he gets to 26, he is going to be burnt out. Whatever you think about him, okay, and no doubt he's going to play a bulk of minutes in the World Cup as well. But it's just let's pump the brakes, man.
I saw this thing earlier, and it was actually a Chelsea fan that likes Mason Mount, but they were like, I've seen this. I've seen this level of burnout before, and last time it happened, it was Dele Alli.
Oh,
my days.
You're not wrong, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like,
Yeah.
And this is a Chelsea fan that actually likes Mount, by the way. So even if some of the Mount, like hardcore Mount fans, can see it, then you know.
I know
C1.
Cole. I know Cole.
Go ahead.
I know Cole started against Arsenal. Did he start today against Villa? I don't think he did.
Yeah,
right?
he did.
Oh, he did. Oh, fine. Fine. And I forgot Musiala.
And they lost.
I didn't know about Musiala. Okay, Musiala. Yeah, Musiala's not at our club anymore. Okay, Musiala is looking very good. Okay, but right now they don't play him every single game. Right? They'll rotate him in and out sometimes, and that's a different league. Okay, but let's just pump the brake. I don't want this Lewis Hall will save us all this bullshit. You know, stuff like that.
Lewis Hall, our savior.
C1's going to turn into a Lewis Hall stand after trophy.
Don't do that. C1.
With Musiala though, like people forget that we did everything to keep him as well. He chose to go. He chose to represent Germany and go to Bayern. We offered him like a 5-year deal with a much improved contract.
Big up, Lewis. Thanks for joining. Well, go ahead. Finish your thing, I'm sorry.
No, I pretty much said what he
okay.
He just chose to leave.
C1, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. It's been a while. I do want to have you, have your say before we continue talking. But what are you saying, brother?
Yeah, big up. Hope everyone's having a good day. Fuck Chelsea, you know what I mean? But
fuck Chelsea.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, but on Lewis Hall, I think he's done well. Especially he's not really playing in his preferred position. I think he's probably been the best player on the pitch the last 2 games, but we've been fucking shit, so it's not hard. So I hope he continues playing well. He seems like a decent player, and hopefully we develop him slowly. Don't want to burn him out and stuff because we have other players that are incapable of playing football, but hopefully he continues this good form in it. Yeah, that's what
did you? Okay, got you. Lewis, how do you feel about? I guess what my dilemma is, and we were talking about it just now, is the fact that why is it that players like Lewis Hall, who are 18 years old, come into this team, look good? I would say good, not phenomenal. It's just that the bar's been so fucking low for Chelsea. Why do players like him look good? Why do players like Reece play well consistently, but we can't get the same out of our other players? Like, is it? I feel like if I had to just say it straight without beating around the bush, I feel like some of these players have just lost the motivation and that fuel to play really well for Chelsea, while someone young like Lewis Hall or someone like Reece James still has it and always shows it every single game.
I think for a lot of these players, they just don't want to be here, and that's fine. Fuck off, please. That's the way I see it. The fact that we've gone from a 38-year-old being our best player to an 18-year-old,
24-year-old,
what was that?
To an injury-prone player to a 38-year-old to Lewis Hall. Jesus.
Literally, bruv. Lewis Hall, his first Premier League start away at an unbeaten side at home, 4th place in the league, was our only creative outlet. Says a fucking lot. Like, you got the likes of Mount and Gallagher just doing up fucking cardio sessions for 90 minutes. Poor Broja, I'll allow him. He didn't get given any service. I ain't going to say nothing about him. But the fact that Lewis, and he's not even in his position. I swear he's a centre mid. Or is he a centre back?
Yeah, he's in the mid. He's number 8.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's a centre mid playing at wing back, and he's doing better than all of our other midfielders, all of our strikers. He performed better than our midfielders. Like I can't say too much of it because again, it wasn't 10 out of 10 generational performance or anything. Like it was just the best out of everything that we had. But it says a lot about the mentality and the motivation of a lot of this squad. A lot of the squad have just packed it in really because they've peaked, and they know they've peaked, and they also know their positions aren't really that much under jeopardy, not for this season at the very least. So they don't really care. It's the same excuse people use for these players that I'm using as to why they don't work. It's because they won the Champions League. They don't care no more. Likes of Havertz and Mount, for example, their legacies are already intact. They'll leave Chelsea and history will look nicely on them because they helped us win the Champions League. It doesn't mean anything that they're shit right now.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is. Problem is these lot peaked too early and they've been basically given the world by a good section of this fan base. And we just need to be real about the majority of our players. They all suck.
Amen.
All right, let me go ahead and add Nono to the stream, bro. What you saying? I feel like you're a rival.
I'm happy. I came here to land in the minerals and speak about the game really. And you can call me Digger, Shotty, Double Tap. That's my name, you know. And I'm the guy, you know. My footballing knowledge is the best, bro. You know, nobody's better than me at this game, bro.
Okay.
Yo, see what did you bring him here, man?
I agree.
Can I just say on the ball,
Shane, bro.
Can I say on the ball? The
Actually,
point
wait, sorry, Scott. Just before you go, no. Do you rate Havertz?
He's awful, bro. I was trolling you. I was just
Oh,
trolling
okay,
you.
cool. No. Just litmus test. Fair enough.
Oh my God.
So yeah, with Paul, the thing is, right? Do you know why he looks so good? Is because the rest of the team is terrible. Like the bar is on the floor. Yeah. Like look at Garnacho as an example for United. Is he their best player? No, of course he's not. He just looks really good because like he looks good, but he's not their best player because most of the rest of the squad is performing to the same level. Lewis Hall looks like our best player because the rest of the squad is on the floor in terms of where their abilities are or where just their level of shit is at. Like that's how it is. The Lewis Hall performance against City or against Newcastle, we should look and go, like Andrew said, that's a really good performance. Like he didn't look out of place. We're looking at it as that was an amazing performance. He was the best player on the pitch he was like a shining light and a shower of shit. That's how we're looking at his performance because the rest of the performances of these players is on the floor. Our bar of like where we expect this team to be is in hell. It's literally the lowest it's probably ever been. Like that's where we're at with some of these players. It's like we're at a stage where we have to big up an 18-year-old because we've got nothing else. We've got literally fuck all else. There's nothing else we can do.
Yeah,
hey, is that
I agree. That is no.
No. Welcome back, bro.
Let me just read this super chat from Dark. Thank you so much for the super chat, Dark. Appreciate you. $4.99 super chat. Out of our squad, which positions are a priority for the January transfer window? For me, it's right back / right wing back and 2 center mids. I mean,
Let me say this right now. Every single position is priority.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna say this right now.
I was gonna say he's not even joking, by the way.
I'm not joking.
Like fully.
I agree.
The position we're in, and because we don't know where we're going to finish, I say this to people all the time. I want us to treat this January window like a summer window, and I want us to be aggressive and sign.
Yeah, we literally said that yesterday.
Yeah, I want us to sign. I want us to sign the players that we need. Okay. I want us to
sign a midfielder.
I want us to sign all the players that are important. I don't want to wait till okay. Let me rephrase this. I want us to sign everyone, whether they come in January or not is a different story. Sign them. They come in the summer, fine. But get them signed in January. Yeah, get them signed in January so we don't have to faff around and get the deals done quick in January as well. Announce deals during the World Cup. Announce them before the January transfer window opens. I do not want to be 3 weeks into the January transfer window going, we should be signing this midfielder. Why haven't we signed this midfielder? Why haven't we done this? Get it all done, okay? I don't want to be faffing around the last day going, trying to take some midfielder on loan again. Like we've done
January
summer windows.
Can I just say on the window?
Yeah,
I'll say on the window, like Andrew's right. Like deep it for a second. We need if you just go for our positionally speaking, we need a new goalkeeper, a starting goalkeeper, because the 2 we've got aren't good enough to be a consistent starting for where we want to get to. Right back, we need a backup right back. Left back, there are still question marks on that. Still, despite the fact we've got we've got, in my opinion, one quality left back and a good left back, and there are still question marks on that position. Centre back, we need at least one because Silva's probably going to leave at the end of this season. At least, if Koulibaly turns out to be a dud, which at the moment looks like it's going to be, probably need 2. And again, with Fofana's injury record, probably need 1 or 2. Midfielders need at least 2, probably 3. Wingers,
3.
again, we need one, maybe 2. You look at 10s, we need at least 1 with how we play at the
right
moment.
now, just like,
Strikers,
okay, we need this,
bro, this is my point.
this.
Strikers, our starting striker is 33 and is on a 2-year deal from the summer just gone. That's coming summer. I think it was 2 years, wasn't it? This coming summer, he'll have 1 year left on his deal and he'll be 33 or 34. And then our backup striker, most people don't think this guy can start consistently for us. We need at least 1 player in every position.
Jeez.
This team is fucked on another. I said this yesterday, right? This team is fucked on another level from top to bottom.
Wait, well, Scott, you're telling me we have to spend another 300 million?
Yes.
300 million.
More than that.
Short-term game for long-term game, bro.
Genuinely,
Yeah.
The problem is to fix this squad. Genuinely, you're going to have to spend 300 million plus because most of the 300 million we spent in the summer was replacing, and then also like it's because we've still got so many holes. That's the problem. We've got so many holes. We had a boat full of holes. Imagine we filled 3 of them, and we've still got 10 left. How the fuck does that like? We need to fix all the holes, and it's going to take a lot of money. That's just how it is. What would help is us signing players on a 20 million, like Palhinha would have done. By the way, missing out on players like him and Bruno Guimaraes is why I hold so much like hatred.
Bro, your mic's on a madness.
Yeah, Will, I just muted you because your mic is going a little crazy. Just unmute
I was
yourself.
going to say, the reason missing out on players like Palhinha and Guimaraes is why I hold so much vim and hate towards our previous ownership. These man would have said 50 million and would have fixed our midfield. Instead, they're playing for Newcastle and Fulham, no disrespect.
Yeah.
And they're putting in man of the match performances every single game.
And think about
That's what we need to do is find those players. But it's going to cost a lot of money to fix this team.
Yeah, exactly. Think about it. You say everyone goes, "Oh, we spent 300 million." Dude, we spent 300 million replacing people. We didn't add people on top. Okay.
Yeah.
Christensen and Rudiger walked on a free.
God rest his soul.
You had to spend 100.
Oh my
nearly
God.
120 million. Sorry, you had to spend just over 100 million to get 2 defenders in. Okay. We had Chilwell coming back from an ACL, and the 2 replacements for him are crap. You had to spend over the odds to get Cucurella. Okay. You let Werner and Lukaku go. And Cho go out on loan. And you replaced them with Aubameyang, Sterling, and you called Broha back. And then you didn't even do anything with the midfield. You just replaced Zachariah. You just replaced Saul with Zachariah.
Zachariah for Saul.
That's all you did. That's all you did. And that's it. And people go, "Oh yeah, we spent 300 million." Dude, when you deep it, we spent 300 million and we got rid of a load of fringe players, right? Took them off the bill. We need to get rid of these core
Why
players
doesn't Potter play Zachariah though?
Also,
He deserves
on
to be
another note
played,
as well, again, just before you go, I wanted to say as well, the reason as well, I think I said this on another stream, I've said this before, I see so many people backing up, this, like, with what happens in Potter, and it's like, Roman would have never let this happen. Bro, Roman's the reason we're in this mess. Like, I love him.
True.
I love the guy. He did amazing for our club. He saved us from bankruptcy. He's the reason we're in this mess.
Yeah, he left
He's
us.
the reason why our director of football. He is the reason why our director of football was someone that had no knowledge of football and was only cared about business. He's the reason why our scouting system was as bad as it was, and he never made any improvements on it. He's the reason why, because of that bad recruitment, we missed out on players like Palhinha, Guimaraes, Nunes. I could go on. He's the reason why we missed out on these players. Again, I love him as a guy in terms of what he gave us, the Champions Leagues, the fact he saved it from bankruptcy, the league titles, everything. But he is at fault, ultimately, because our recruitment sucked because of him, and our backroom staff sucked because of him.
He's at
real quick, Andrew, real quick before you go.
Yeah.
C1, I do want to rotate the people who come in, the guests. So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna put you backstage for a bit. You can chill there, and then we'll bring you back out when we right. I just gotta rotate the room a little bit. But go ahead.
Roman's fault is obviously he doesn't oversee the recruitment and everything like that. It's who he left in charge to oversee it. That's the biggest issue. Okay?
Yeah.
He allowed the club to stagnate and get on by with winning a trophy every 2 seasons, which covers, or back-to-back seasons, not league titles, but trophies that cover cracks, that blind the fans by going, yeah, wow, these group of players won a European Cup. All we need is one player and we're league contenders. No, it's a cup run, okay? a very good cup run, a very competent, confident, controlling cup run, where they deserve to win that European Cup. Okay, by the way they played, they deserve to win it. But in the league, that is your bread and butter. Okay, where you are established over 38 league games,
it's the bread and butter, man.
Where you play with pressure, they have failed. Okay, and that's the club letting them fail. Look how many years? Why are we giving Batshuayi and Bakayoko year extensions? Just let them go. Just let them go, man. You turned down 10 million from me to Batshuayi because you wanted 15. It's all bollocks. Go on, no.
They wanted 50 for his ass a few years ago when
man.
So I'm
Richard Dortmund wanted Batshuayi.
50 M's, man. Batman and that.
I worked.
No, I have to ask you a question. Is that Nkuku behind you? Is that supposed to be Nkuku?
Nah,
that's
Chris Digger. It's Digger D.
It's a rapper. It's an English rapper.
Okay, I didn't know.
It's because
from a certain angle, it looks like
family
Nkuku. I'm not
in
gonna
Grove,
lie.
innit? It's because I have family that live in Grove. That's why, and I know him as well. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
You got
That's awesome.
Family.
So I was saying about you lot, like the problem has been your recruitment and the fans overprotecting certain players that are not good enough. Like you look at Mount and you look at Havertz and those guys, like they don't perform consistently, and that's why you don't win the title. Required to win the title, the consistency. And you don't beat the small teams enough, and you turn up when you want. And for me, it's inconsistency and recruiting crappy players like Morata and these lot. Your policy has let you down since Emiliano left, and for me, the scouting at Chelsea has been wrong. And Chelsea turn up in one-off games, and they're becoming a cup team now. And Chelsea haven't won the title in 6 now. It's worrying. Yeah,
I agree, and I don't know. I mean, while we're on the topic of, I get you, brother. While we're on the topic of Chelsea and all that, let's go ahead and also talk about this. So on the topic of Chelsea, of course, we're on the topic of Chelsea. I mean, the topic of transfers. Kovacic and Mendy apparently being unsettled at the club, not sure where their future is heading. Look.
They can fuck off then.
Yeah, man, just go, man.
Go for it.
Facts.
Go for it, guys.
Just go for it, man.
Let me go.
Like on a real, like again, look at these players, right?
Yeah.
You got Mendy, right? Who I like Mendy. Like he seems like a great guy, and he's a good goalkeeper. Like he's a serviceable goalkeeper, but like he's not irreplaceable. And it's like you can replace him with better. Like Diogo Costa's out there. You've got Sarr. I take Jose Sarr from Wolves right now. He'd be an improvement. There's others I could probably think of. I just don't have the mental capacity right now. Like you've got guys out there you can replace him with. Like you can easily find a replacement. You've got in terms of Kovacic as well. This guy is not the same person he was from a year or two ago. You can replace him. Funnily enough, one of the people just mentioned, if we'd have got Nunes, there you go. There's your Kovacic replacement right there. If we were to get De Jong, say, I don't think it's going to happen. There you go. There's your Kovacic replacement right there. Like, if these guys are unsettled, hey, cool, bye.
Yeah, I agree. Real quick, no. Do you mind if I just put you backstage for a little bit? I gotta rotate someone in.
Nah, no problem, man. No problem,
right.
guys.
Chill back there. I'll get you back on as soon as I can. All right,
bro.
man?
I'll unlock you.
Thanks,
as well.
bro.
I completely forgot. My bad.
Bro, we should just...
Let's go ahead. DEFCON 5, what's going on? Big up, brother. What are you saying, man? Go ahead, C1. You were saying.
Yeah,
C1?
we've Kovacic and Mendy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
C3, can we hear you? Yeah.
Army, shut your mouth, man.
This guy's got a delay. But go ahead, C1. What you were saying about Kovacic and Mendy, man. Go ahead.
Am I delayed now?
You still are delayed. Don't worry about it. Just say what you gotta say, man.
Let me hop back in one sec.
All right, never mind. DEFCON, what are you saying, bro?
Hey,
final pass.
Hey, Luis, what's up?
Yes, bro. What are you saying?
You forgot me, Luis, already?
Who's this?
DEFCON, man.
Oh shit, Bowley's Blues. What you saying, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm good. Andrew.
Yeah, I ain't seen you
Prime.
in a sec. I hope everything's good.
Yeah, I started business. I'm concentrating on my business.
Yeah, no worries, man. Life is life. Good to hear from you, man.
Yeah. I wrote that message about our recruitment. We have been doing this for 5 years or more. It finally caught up to us. Like, our recruitment is among the worst. Even mid-table teams like Brighton, Crystal Palace, and all these teams recruiting better than us, man. It's just insane. It's unbelievable, man. Finally, it caught up to us. We are paying for it now.
I mean, despite it catching up to us, how do you feel about where this could go with all the recruitments we got? And Potter bringing his team, us finally getting a director of football, and a director of sport or whatever the fuck. I don't know. We have so many positions now. I can't even keep track.
I'm very hopeful in the future. I think we're gonna be one of the best run clubs in the world, in Europe.
Okay,
that's what I think. I'm very hopeful for the future. Not now though. Now I'm okay with what's going on because everybody is left hanging out. There's nobody hiding behind information or whatever, protection or whatever. Everybody you see right now is what they can offer. You know what I mean? Nobody's hiding now. So all this world class, whatever generational shit, they're all hanging out dry now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm happy. So now we know who to replace. Actually, now we know we have to replace all of them almost, I guess. Right? I don't care about top 4 or what not. I'm just happy we're gonna get these players out.
When you say you don't care about top 4, do you mean this season, or are you willing to give up top 4 next season as well?
If it has to, this season I already wrote it off. Next season, if it has to take next season, I don't like it, but I'm okay with it. This season,
I don't know.
I'm tired.
I feel like we could at least try to get close to top 4 this season. If we don't get it, that's fine. And I think Lewis, I think you've had this discussion on your channel too. Are you willing to do this more than once to not get the top 4? I mean, maybe this season's fine, but next season,
2 years.
2 years of no top 4. I don't know if I could
give it 2 years, and we should this by the end of next season we should either be back in the top 4, or depending on where we finish this season, win the Europa League. But this season, like, the standards of the club has to be make top 4 as a bare minimum. But
yeah.
I keep saying this squad ain't capable of that. This squad's just shit. So I have no expectation of this squad to make top 4 because I'm realistic. Well, am I going to expect top 4 from goalkeepers I don't trust, a defense that leaks goals, a midfield that couldn't create a Word document, and an attack that has no service? It's just shit. Simple as that.
I think if we are going to miss top 4 this season, it has to be I don't want the Europa League and I don't want
Conference. Yeah, finish 10th.
Finish 10th, and then the next season, we have 1 game a week, barring a Carabao or FA Cup, and we make sure we get top 4 with a new squad, new identity. Boom.
Yeah, bro. And if these guys want to leave, like Kovacic, I do like him. I think he's a good player, but bro, I don't like keeping players that don't want to be here because it just causes unnecessary drama. Like,
but that's the only way. That's the only way to get rid of these guys. Like, if we finish 4th or we get 5th or 6th, these guys will still stay. We'll win the Europa League or Conference League, and our fans will get gassed again. That's why I need something.
You're right,
drastic.
Man.
Finish 10th, finish 8th, and then because you guys don't want to leave anyway, so you guys can go. Hopefully, this player stand mentality, you guys can join them. If Havertz joins Dortmund, hey, C1, you can join him too. Everyone, Daniel, when Mount plays for Everton or plays for West Ham under Frank and Declan Rice, you can join them too. Everyone can leave, and we can build again. Like, people don't realize how drastic this.
Daniel.
People don't. No. I'm talking about Daniel Wilkinson. But anyone who supports Matt, I don't care. My point being, like, we need a drastic change, and it's not just players. The whole club.
Damn, Prime, your Wi-Fi's really bad.
Nigerian Wi-Fi is not working right now, big man.
Prime is right. We have been doing this for years.
We need to
This team won a Champions League, and
completely.
everybody
need to be like a
all we need
phoenix.
is a striker.
Die and rise from the ashes.
And you know, after
rise from the ashes better.
Yo,
and
Need
you
to
know,
be like
after,
a phoenix.
sorry, you know, after we won the Champions League, I think Tuchel's assistant said after they won it, it was hard for Tuchel and the coaching staff to motivate them again. Or even if they weren't good enough in the first place, they don't have the same hunger and motivation anymore. So why are we keeping them? They don't want to play for the badge. Fuck off.
And you know what, Prime? When Mendy joins the unnamed French club, you can go there as well. Okay, Prime.
Mendy.
Yo,
Wait, hold on. You think Mendy's my guy? You think Mendy's my guy? You don't know me.
Yeah, he's a Trev stan.
Yeah,
Mendy is a good number 2. That's it.
I don't care I don't care. He can leave too. Mendy can leave too. Everyone can leave.
I can't even lie.
Let's
I
go
genuinely
backstage then. Yeah, we'll go backstage.
Fighting words.
Genuinely, depending on what the plan with him is going forward, I'd be fine with Slonina being on number 2. Depending on who our number 1 is, I'd be fine with him being on number 2.
I think he's with us now, actually, because the US MLS
Yeah, he is.
season's finished, right? So
He literally he joined us. I was going to say
to buy or something, isn't he? Something like
that. Potentially, he literally came to England or came to train with the team. Literally, I think a week or a few days after the MLS season ended because Chicago didn't make the playoffs, and he didn't play in their final game either. So I think he literally came like straight away. So yeah, depending on what the plan is with him, if you're going to send him out on loan to get first team minutes at another team, that's calm. Then keep Mendy or Kepa as number 2. I don't really care. But like, if the plan is for him to stay and integrate him a part of the team, play him as our number 2. Like, based on what I've heard, and based on what I've seen, he's decent enough to be a number 2 as long as you can teach him a few things. Like, you need to improve his ball playing ability and his sweeper, like him sweeping. But
I don't know if anyone's seen him, and I have actually seen him play a few times. There is a keeper that's really impressing me at the moment. It's the Porto Diogo Costa.
Oh yeah,
he's really impressing me at the moment with his all-round game.
Andrew, you're right. He is. The problem is he's 6 foot though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 foot even.
Wait. The problem is that he's short. Quote unquote.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Really
I get it. It's the same thing with Kepa. It's literally the same thing with Kepa.
Yeah.
But Kepa hasn't been bad this season. He's
but the only problem is he's short.
Bro, he kept 5 clean sheets in a row, right? Didn't he?
But the problem with Kepa is you know he has that in him where it's like, and it's not his fault, but he'll have those things where it's like he should reach a shot or should reach a chance, and he doesn't because of his height.
United goal. That's a perfect example.
I was going to say the United goal, like he gets a touch on it. If he's slightly taller, he keeps that out.
Yep.
Maybe, but like this argument that like a keeper maybe shouldn't be considered or it's disadvantaged because obviously it is a disadvantage that he's shorter. Look at Iker Casillas, bro. Iker Casillas was one of the best and he wasn't that tall. So he doesn't need to be tall or over 6 feet to be a good keeper.
He was 6'2", right? Wasn't he?
Iker Casillas was like 5'8", I'm pretty sure.
What?
Maybe I'm revisiting. Casillas for Iker Casillas was
Casillas was like 5'8", man.
He was 6 foot. 6 foot is what I'm reading on the wiki.
I'm seeing
so it's not that much different than Iker Casillas. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I think maybe look too much into it. When I look at a keeper, I want to see how he reacts, his ability to stop a shot, and all that, and also intelligent with the ball, not taking too many touches like Mendy does from time to time. Give me a heart attack nearly every time he fucking gets the ball, and just overall play. Bro. Talk to me.
I had a heart attack 10 times last game. They were passing the ball to Mendy every chance they got. Like,
dude, every time Mendy gets the ball and they expect him to pass it, my fucking heart drops in my asshole. I'm not gonna lie. Every time he puts the ball. No, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to tell me something. I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Oh, wait. Mendy slander. I'm back. What did I miss?
Oh my god, man!
This guy.
It's such a hater.
Your Wi-Fi is moving mad, man.
Diogo Costa's 6'1", apparently. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yo, with the suffer, man. Like, Mendy's not good on the feet, man. I think his saves, like, his shot stopping outweighs his negatives, man. So, like, you don't really judge Mendy on that, man. He has won you several amount of games. I think you guys are being short-minded.
The
The
thing
amount of
about
games he's
Mendy
won you
was,
last season and a couple this season, man. Like, what's this about, man?
I think
Chelsea
part of
fans
it,
love turning on your players easily, man.
the
Come
thing
on,
about
man.
Mendy-
No. We're not turning on our
Yes.
players. I'm just saying, I think part of it, and I think this might be what Andrew's going to go into. Part of it is that we've had Czech, we had Courtois, despite being a snake. It's just there's been a standard at Chelsea, and like part of us, the fan base, is trying to fight that Roman Abramovich era, while also trying to maintain that we're moving into a new era. It's very confusing, and I get it.
You hit it in the head. The thing is, for almost 2 decades, we never had a problem with goalkeeping. Finally, we have a problem with goalkeeping. You know what I mean? We were
the issue
spoiled
I had-
yesterday.
The issue I had
Go ahead,
yesterday-
Andrew.
the issue I had yesterday, yeah, Mendy short distribution is not very good. I think his long, the kicking is actually okay. It's fine. It's what it should be. But the problem I found yesterday was that we tried playing out from the back, right? And he kicked it to someone, which was fine. And then they kicked it back to him, which I thought, why are you doing that?
Exactly.
You're just putting him under more pressure, yeah? And you could tell he didn't want the ball back, yeah? After he passed it to them. Every time he passed it to someone, they passed it back. It was like, what? You could tell in his face, what the hell are you doing passing it back for? And then I was like, this pass up to the back is great if the goalkeeper is willing to do it, okay?
Yeah.
Just boot it. And we don't have the players who can play out from the back. Okay, not the way we're built. We've only got 2 midfielders. There's no point playing out from the back. You've only got 2 options and stuff like that. So I'm just Mendy's okay. He's a good shot stopper. I agree. He's done a lot more in his short time here than Kepa's done for us. Okay, he kept us in the Champions League semi-final.
But why do you play out from the back then? You shouldn't be playing out of the back.
I don't know. I
should
don't
put it
understand.
long.
Yeah, he did, Prime. He kept us in the semi-final.
You've activated
You can
Prime.
hold that. You can hold that. He kept us in. He made those great saves against Benzema, so we can hold that.
Oh, what? The bomb Benzema? Nah, man, doesn't count.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Ballon d'Or
Prime, man,
Benzema.
stop
Put
capping,
some
man.
respect
Oh,
on
my
Benzema. What is this, man?
This guy will slander anyone to prove his point.
Prime, man, you're on some
Prime,
Lucasade,
you
man.
would take you would take Benzema at this Chelsea club in a heartbeat, even if we had good strikers.
What's in your
Take
club,
Benzema
man?
and goal.
Wait, Marshall, we
Man,
have
I'm gonna bounce, but
Marshall.
take care, everyone. Big up.
See you, Lewis.
Marshall, we have
Yeah.
Havertz.
Bro.
Marshall,
Big
we
up.
have Havertz up top. I would take you
You
up
need to
top.
calm down.
Heartbeat.
Bro,
Doesn't
no,
matter.
Prime, stop it, man. Benzema owns Chelsea, man. You see how he buried you last season, man?
Arsenal owns Chelsea. They haven't won a league title in 20 years. Who cares?
To be fair, the Premier League just owns us. At this
Bro,
point.
Yeah,
I'm not
Benzema's.
talking about
Hey,
Arsenal.
doesn't
I'm
matter.
saying
Hey,
Benzema
Mendy
owns Chelsea,
making
bro. The hat-trick at
making
the
a save
bridge
against
and the goals against
Mendy making a save against
Benzema,
Benzema
man.
the bomb doesn't matter to me. I don't care, man. They can both go. Mendy and Kepa can both go.
Show some respect, big man.
No, they can both go.
No, I'm not talking about Mendy. I'm talking about Benzema, big man.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, whatever. If you're triggered by the Benzema comment, I don't care. They can both go. That's my point.
I love how Prime's Wi-Fi works perfectly fine when he has to say things like this.
The hater Wi-Fi, man.
How
Hater Wi-Fi.
convenient.
Yeah.
But I mean, on the whole Mendy and Kovacic thing, back to that. Listen, with Mendy, it's one thing. I think it's just. I think with Mendy, it's a lot of it's the confidence, and he lost his playing time and all that stuff. He feels like he can be a number one. Surely he does. I agree with you guys. He can be a perfect number two, and we should, let Kepa go, find someone else who is suitable for the number one role. But as for Kovacic, and Kovacic isn't the only one. I think a good amount, a handful of players have come out and said this, that they're just tired of the chopping and changing of the manager. Every season, it's a new staff. They can never really get settled per se. And I feel like Kovacic is kind of going through that, maybe feeling that type of way. I don't think Kovacic doesn't want to be at Chelsea, but I think Kovacic is tired of just the overall culture that has been going on at Chelsea for the past 4 or 5 seasons that he's been with us. So I don't think it's gonna remain the same. I think maybe we do re-sign Kova. Hopefully he becomes more reliable and less injury prone.
No stability.
And I also hope that after the World Cup, if he does get that fucking surgery, he comes back better because he's been playing like shit lately. And I don't know if it's because of the knee injury, because maybe he does want to leave Chelsea, which I doubt. That's just my 2 cents on that whole Kovacic situation. I don't know if you guys disagree on that, or even the Mendy situation as well. No, we all have an agreement. Cool, awesome.
Listen, if Kova wants to leave, I'm cool. He can go.
Nah, man.
If anyone wants
Kova
to
is
leave-
alright, but he's overrated.
That's the
by
thing,
some other
like-
fans, man.
It ain't even just these two though. Like I'm at a point. Like I think Andrew's gonna say this as well.
Anybody.
That bar Fofana, bar Chalobah really, because I think I do like him. Bar
I like
James
him a lot,
and bar Cucurella.
James.
Everyone else, if you want to leave, leave.
Yep.
Like
Exactly.
Silva,
Yep.
I say Silva can leave just out of respect. Like if he wants to retire after this season, I say fair
Yeah,
play. You've
yeah.
done a lot for us, like that of respect. Everyone else, if you want to leave, do please fuck off then.
Bro, they
'Cause
could
you
have
ain't as
pissed
good as you
off,
think
man.
you
They
are.
haven't been consistent,
you.
man. They
Let
haven't
me
been
ask
showing
you guys
fight
a
and
question.
deserve.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Go for it,
How
go for it.
bad is this squad compared to the mid-table teams? Forget top 6 mid-table teams. How bad is our squad? Mid-table teams. Let's
On
say
paper or based on form?
on paper. So
On paper, we should be top 4.
Yo,
easily.
Mushroom, man.
I
No.
don't
Some
know.
of
We
your
shouldn't
fans
know.
thought that like
Based on what,
Kova is
though?
class, man.
What is that
No.
based
Kovacic-
on?
They said that
Kovacic
Kova is
on
class.
paper. No, but that's the thing though. Like, hold on. Let's not get things twisted, okay? Kovacic has been playing poorly in recent games, but prior to this season, Kovacic is a great midfielder. I'm not having this slander that Kovacic is shit, okay?
Okay,
Kovacic
I'm not-
is
He's
not
not.
shit.
But the
He's not
thing
even
is,
He should
good.
be
you have to
assisting more,
you have to
man.
understand of what he
Should
is now.
get
Like
assist.
I agree, a year or two ago he was quality, but like you look now, post knee injury, pre-surgery, Kovacic, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
he's
yeah.
not it. Like
No,
that's
I
the thing.
agree.
Like,
I agree. And we're
It's
looking
not
at
it's
it
the
now.
same thing with Kante. Everyone assumes Kante's going to come back and he's going to be like he's going to be quality and he's going to fix this squad. Forgetting
Yeah.
that the last 5 months of last season he was average to shit,
But-
with a couple of
but-
good games sprinkled in there.
You're right, Scott. And last season, I kept saying it. Conte was not the Conte that we saw at Champions League. I don't think Conte was anywhere near that level last season, and you could see it. And I'm not like the whole bias, like, oh, Conte has been legend. No. But Kovacic, if anything, Kovacic improved last season up until Chilwell and Reece James got hurt. And that's when we started to downfall and the whole team went down. But Kovacic was making more assists. Kovacic was making more plays. We just were wasteful.
Right, but the thing is this, right?
Mhm.
Kovacic had a spurt at the start of last season where he got 5 or 7.
Yeah.
And also he's the midfielder that carries the ball forward for Chelsea. And that's why he created the chances.
And then didn't do anything.
You know,
for
he's
the
your
rest of the
ball
season.
person. But sometimes he should be getting more assists, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Should
But
be
my
like
main problem with Kovacic
in
is
the
same
right
as Kante.
areas. I have a problem with him.
It's the availability. He is not available. He's injury prone.
Yeah, that's true.
Even before this knee injury, he's
Andrew,
injury prone.
Andrew, Kovacic has never played more than 23 games.
Exactly. He's it's always out. And that's why people get on you get like people like unnecessarily whatever. You get on George they get on George, oh, he's doing this. Why? Because he has to constantly play because Kante and Kovacic are now not only frequently injured, they're frequently injured at the same time.
That's how you know, Andrew, we are not a serious club.
Right.
Like, how can you look at these 3 players and say, oh, we got enough midfielders?
That's what Thomas Tuchel said. He
Yeah.
said it in the summer. I don't need a midfielder. I've got this. I've got
same players,
Gallagher,
man.
who's like Kante.
Yeah,
I was going to say also, like, to say that we're not worse than other mid-table teams is like, yeah, you could say that on paper, but if we're playing on paper, it's like you have to look into context with it. Yeah, in terms of you look at our squad, it probably should be better than mid-table, but look at everything else around it.
So
Like
for
we
your
mentioned,
squad,
we've got two injury-prone midfielders that, when they come back from injury, look terrible. And take about 2 months to get back up to speed, and that's if they don't get injured within that time.
Man.
We've got a front line.
The only way is up
We've
for
got
you, lot, though.
No.
We've got a front line that doesn't have an ounce of creativity in them. Like, name me another mid-table team that has that. At least I can point at some mid-table teams and go,
Bro, Bournemouth, they're crap.
No, but let's do this very simple, guys. Okay, let's do it very simple.
Yeah.
Let's move Newcastle out. But who people think the top 6 are? Yeah, I think we have the worst squad. out of the top 6.
Yep.
No, forget about
What
top
squad
6.
are the top
Forget about top
6?
6. We talk about mid. Okay, let's say Leicester.
No, I'm just talking about who people think the top 6 are, not like who's in it right now.
Oh,
I just
okay,
think
okay.
like the Arsenal,
Oh,
Spurs,
yeah.
City,
And that's the thing,
Not
and
that
that's
we
where I
make
get
top
this.
six.
I get pissed
Yeah.
off with people that think we have a God-given right to finish top 4. Based on what?
Based on what?
Like, based on what? Like,
I think it's just based on
out
the
the fact,
history of
take
making it,
context out
yeah.
of the fact. Like we've mentioned,
Yeah.
just look at your team on paper. This team on paper is the worst in the top 6.
Watch a
Then you
game
add
of
context-
Chelsea.
Then you add
Chelsea.
context into it, and it makes
Nah,
us
man,
like
they're
worse.
not, man.
That's the
You
thing.
lot spend like
Like-
300 M's, yeah?
Yes, to replace players, like we've said, like, and the people we've replaced, like we replaced Christensen with Fofana, who for me has
Well,
not
he's a
shown enough to say
generational
he's
talent,
better.
man, according to your fans.
This guy.
I don't know who said
According
that he's a
to your fans, he
generational
is,
talent.
bro.
I've never seen anyone
Hold
say
on,
that he's a
listen.
generational
Hold on.
talent.
Can I just say this before everyone continues? Can I just say this? Stop listening to the collective of Chelsea fans. The majority of our fan base are full of idiots. It's full of idiots.
I was going to
Stop
say,
listening.
majority of Chelsea fans are stupid as shit.
Fortunately.
They're thick as
Unfortunately.
all hell. But yeah, like
No,
we replaced
no offense,
Christensen with
Marshall. and Andy,
Fofana.
No offense.
We replaced Christensen with
You're up
Fofana,
yours, bro.
and we are yet to see that to be an
Sorry.
upgrade. We replaced Rudiger with Koulibaly, and that's been a significant downgrade. We replaced, we
Sheesh.
put Gallagher into our midfield to replace Kante, who's always injured, and that's been a significant downgrade. We replaced Werner with Sterling, and I think that's an upgrade, but he's not playing at his best right now. And then we replaced, we didn't really replace
Lukaku with
anyone.
Aubameyang.
Striker. Oh yeah,
Aubameyang.
Lukaku with Aubameyang, and for me, that's just a sideways move. That's not an upgrade or a
Yeah.
downgrade. That's just a sideways move because they both offer something and lack something else. So all we've done is go backwards with the replacements or go sideways. We haven't
And
actually improved from where we were last season. If anything, we've gone backwards. Our team,
Yeah,
team
you've gone
sucks.
backwards,
Our
man.
squad sucks.
Even the stats show it.
And something
Yeah.
else, Scott, we signed like 30 plus year olds in this summer. How can you rebuild with 30-year-olds, man?
You can rebuild with 30-year-olds if there's going to be if there's going to be more on top of that. Like if they're going to be the stepping stone to, or they're going to be the one that teaches the person eventually taking their place. But Aubameyang doesn't strike me as the most teacher kind of guy. Sterling as well, but who's he got to teach? And then Koulibaly's been arse, so who's he teaching? And they've already got Silva to teach them. So this is all just a bit all
I was going
backwards.
to say after sort of
But our team sucks. People need to realize our team sucks. We do not have a God-given right to finish in the top
Scott,
4.
though,
We
but
have
some of your
our
fans.
squad sucks. Our squad sucks. It's terrible. It's the worst in the top
Scott,
6. It is
Can
the
I ask
worst
you
in the top
something,
6.
man? Like some of your fans, gas this team to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Granted,
That's 'cause
because
they're
you won the
dickheads.
CL and
Bro,
all that.
bro,
That's
hold
because we
on.
won the
Now,
Champions
you
League, and these
lot-
guys are
listen
ridiculous.
to, bro.
Hold on, bro. Again, unless you're gonna mention names of Chelsea fans, our fan base as a collective is full of idiots.
Mhm.
Don't let, because I can do this with any. I can
Yeah.
say Arsenal fans said this. United fans said they'd win the league with Ollie. Liverpool fans said they were the best team in Premier League history.
Bro, I'm
Yada, yada,
seeing
yada. I can
United
do
fans
this.
saying
Name
that Dalla
names.
is cleared of James. I'm
Exactly.
not listening to all
Let's
the
name
fans.
names of people that said this. Let's name actual names.
That's the
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
unfortunately, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I want to address this comment that Kai made real quick. It's just that, look, I don't think anyone's saying that Kovacic is not a good midfielder. He's one of our best midfielders. But the issue with Kovacic is what we were saying, and I agree with everyone that said it, is that he's not reliable. He is injury prone. And it sucks because Kovacic, when he's not injury prone, he's playing at his best, when he's not nursing a knee injury, he is, I believe, to be our best midfielder, better than Conte, I would even say. And last season, if he that's what I would say. Last season, if it wasn't for Chilwell and Reece James getting hurt, if we had a better, reliable attack that maybe put away goals, I would say that Kovacic would have had upwards of over 10 assists easily last
Well,
season.
the thing is that right, okay, that's good. But even he does the stupid decision making as well.
Yeah.
He overruns the ball, over dribbles, and doesn't pass at the right time. So you can go.
I've been saying he don't progress the ball to the front three.
Exactly, he doesn't progress the ball enough for his dribbling. Yesterday's a prime example, and whatever I don't know what he would have done, but there was an opportunity in the second half to put Kai Havertz in through. Okay, he overran the ball again. Okay, he's not. Everyone go, oh yeah, he's one of the best. oh, he's not world
He's not,
class.
yeah.
He's
He's
not
not.
world class.
I did say when he's not nursing a freaking knee injury.
But what I'm saying is,
So,
that
yeah.
Exactly.
I think
That's the reason why Real Madrid got rid of him.
Right, I think Kovacic is a good player. Yeah, he's a good player. In a 2, I don't think he's the best. I think he's better in a 3. Like I've seen him play better in a 3 than a 2. Okay, but he's not the player he's not the player you put in when you've got a settled midfield to take you over the top. He's already there, and you bring another midfielder in to take you over the top.
I mean,
you can say
to answer
Mount
this,
you could say Mount
Yes.
Gallagher, Kai, but he's had plenty of chances. He's had plenty of chances. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Try and progress the ball. Your job.
Kai, Can I just say, Kai, you're doing what other fans do, by the way.
Yeah, your job is to progress the ball. It doesn't matter who it's to. That's all your
yeah,
job is.
you could progress it to Mount and Gallagher.
bro,
If they
that's his
lose, that's
job.
on them. That's not
Yeah,
on you,
exactly.
Kovacic.
But also, Kai, I don't think you understand. We're not saying Kovacic needs to be sold over these guys. They all need to be sold together.
Yeah,
This is
for
what
sure.
you're doing. The same thing that you have a go at, like people do when they mention Mount or
Yeah.
Gallagher, like when they mention Kovacic or Jorginho. Like they all need to go. They
What
all
about
need
him?
to go. Like it's
Exactly,
like they
man.
all
No
need to
one
go.
is
That's the thing.
special.
Like,
Mhm.
bro, I've said this before. I can count the players on one hand that I want to stay at this football club come next season. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, it goes more than that, depending on if they actually want to stay. In the case of like Silver and a couple of others, but like
That argument.
right now, I can count on one hand the number of players I want to keep at this club long term.
You know what's funny, right, Scott? During preseason, I was on Lewis' show, and they asked me to name my 11. I named 8 players. Everybody thought I was crazy. These players are shit.
Yeah.
They
for
are
sure.
shit.
I think I went through early play. I got to 9, and I was surprised I got that high.
Yeah,
The players I wanted to keep.
I stayed at
You know,
8.
I didn't get to double figures because
Yep.
I wanted.
Bro,
to,
how did you get to 9? Sorry,
I know-
how did you
no,
get to
I-
9?
No,
Okay.
it was preseason, Scott. It was preseason.
I'd be surprised if I can get to 5.
If I take away Lewis Hall and the new signings, so I'll give the new signings. I'll give them a break.
Yeah.
Then it'll be less than 9. I'm pretty sure of it. It might
Yeah,
be. It might be. And no, I take away Broho as well because he's only just come in. So I don't include Gallagher in this. So it might be even less than that. I think it was Reese and Chalobah that I kept.
Exactly,
So
man.
it's probably down to 2. So I probably get 2.
Hey, I
out of
can't
this.
even lie. Actually, I've just done it in my head. I can get 6.
Yeah, it's not that many, man. The reality is,
And the only other one I could include again would be Hall, but I'm not including him because again I don't consider him a first team player yet. Like consistent, bro. I'm not even kidding you. I count like these are the people I've thought of. I've got James, Kukurea, Chalobah, Fofana, Sterling, and Broja. That is it.
Yeah, that's it, man.
I've got
What about Aubameyang, man? What about Aubameyang?
I said long
I've
term.
got
Like he's
8.
not going to be here come the end of not next season, the season after.
I've got 8,
shit.
but that's me pushing it. I've got 8.
Yeah,
Me really pushing.
same as me, man.
Carlito
Okay.
came here to
All
smash
right.
the minerals.
You guys, yeah. Look, and I listened to some of the show. Number one, Kovacic is a phenomenal player. Number 2, you guys are talking about a $600 million rebuild. A $600 million rebuild. That
Yeah,
is
billion.
not happening. It's not happening.
It's not happening. in
Why?
one window.
Because we're not going to
Get
spend
rid
$600 million.
of all those players, man.
It's not going to happen in one window. I agree, but it
Of
needs
course,
to happen
yeah.
in terms of as an overall.
It's
As an
gonna take
overall,
years.
we need to spend a large chunk of money on this
Yeah.
team.
So when
I'm not
this
saying it's gonna
happened,
happen overall. In the same way, I know Carlito. I know, like I say, I want no more than 6 players staying long term. I know that's not happening. There's going to be a lot of players that stay.
All right.
I'm just saying,
Hey,
if the players that I
Marshall
care
got dip,
about,
man.
there
Big
are
up the
6
panel,
players.
man.
Like,
See ya.
Big up, no.
like,
Thanks
for
for coming on,
example,
brother.
All right.
I
So,
know,
Marsh,
for example,
Let's get it.
Scott, I hear you, but look, when the UK government blamed the Ukraine war on Chelsea, I said, "Oh boy, we are going to need to do a rebuild because a ton of players are leaving." And you know what? A ton of players did leave, and we did need to do a rebuild. I said this will take 18 months. This will take 3 windows, and everybody needs to just buckle down, bite the bullet, and say, "Fuck, this is going to be really hard for 18 months." And guess what? It's been 4 months, and it's been really hard. But we need 3 windows to do this. Okay. And guess what? We're not going to sell 20 players because that is just not how football works. But I do think in the next 2 windows, we will sign 6 players. Does that mean that 6 leave? Perhaps. But at the same time, you cannot be hyperbolic and just say, fuck everybody, fuck this team, fuck all the players, they all need to go. Because that is being an irrational fan, and no one on this panel is irrational. Everybody on this panel is measured and smart and capable of critical thinking and discernment. I am being one of them as well. I am just going to say this right now. Everybody needs to start being a little bit more realistic because we are not selling 20 players. It is not happening, and you will probably change your mind about some of the players you hate now in a couple of weeks when they play well in the World Cup. So,
Carlito,
not even if they play well. I would think even at the end of the season, we might change our minds about a lot of these players. I wouldn't even say after the World Cup. What were you saying, DEFCON?
No, I was gonna say, of course, it's gonna take years. I'm thinking 2 years.
I was gonna push back a little on what Carlito was saying about the $600 million dollar rebuild. I don't even think it's gonna take that much, to be honest. Like, if we're bringing in these directors, if we're bringing in Potter's scouting team and all this stuff, I really feel that we can get players that people are overlooking, like how United brought in Anthony and Malacia, who have been playing really well for them. We can go
Anthony
on
cost
to
about
other
96
teams.
million
Not
euros.
Anthony. Maybe Malacia.
Oh, well,
Right,
I mean,
but
that's just
They-
from my
they've been good
perspective.
for
I
them.
didn't really know about Anthony prior to this season.
Marshall,
That's me,
the
though.
reason I said 600 million is because everybody's saying, I can count on one hand how many people I want to stay. Okay, that's fine. You can be hyperbolic, you can be exaggeratory, that's fine. But at the same time, we're not just going to keep 6 players. So let's keep this within the real world here.
But
I think
No, but
Yeah, but
Carlito,
Carlito,
I'm not, again, like
you
when
see
we're
that.
saying this, I'm not saying I want 6 players. I want us to go into next summer with a squad of 6 players. I'm saying of the players that we're in our team, there are 6 players that I care about that I want here long term, in terms of everyone else can go. Everyone else, like, say for example, there gets to a point, right, in the summer, and we sign a midfielder, and we have a choice of letting one of Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho go. I don't care which leaves. That's my point. Is I don't care
Okay.
which one of them leaves. I don't care which
Okay.
attacker leaves past Sterling. I don't like. That's one point. Is not. I want all of them gone right now. It's like if an offer comes in for someone who I don't care about, if it's not one of those 6 players, hey, cool. Like, you can go.
All right,
Like,
name the 6. Name the 6 players then. Scott, name the 6 players.
Brozier, Sterling, Fofana, Chalobah, James, Kukurea. Anyone else, if there is an offer that comes in, I suggest the club think about it, as long as you can get a replacement in depending on the position.
Not Pulisic.
Nope.
Okay.
Hold on, Carlito. To add to that, like, obviously we know it's gonna take 18 months to 2 seasons, maybe 3, to change the squad. We're willing to wait to do that, but the thing is, don't get fooled by a little run of form. Like you're saying, the World Cup, we might change our mind on a few players.
Carlito, this is the perfect environment. Like, everybody is hanging out dry. There's no formation, hiding these players' deficiency. Everybody is basically, this is as good as they get, right? So if let's say they come back in January and they start playing good for a month, I'm not getting fooled by that.
Oh, I don't get fooled by small sample size. I'm an adult. Come on,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly.
Don't get it twisted. I've coached more games than y'all have watched. So please don't insult me with that. I know. Look. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not going to be fooled or duped by the players that I've been watching religiously for a very long time. Here's one that I do think will play better: Marc Cucurella. Here's another one that I think will play better: Kalidou Koulibaly. Both these players have had a dip in form, but I do think that their best is yet to come. Fofana, for sure. We didn't spend $80 million on him for him to just be some average player. I think Fofana is going to be amazing, and he will displace Trevor Chalobah when he gets back.
I agree. All the new signings, I'll give them time.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a new environment, new expectations, new money, new everything.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I'll give them a year at least.
But, I mean, look, after yesterday, and I mean, you talk about the peak of frustration, the peak of just, I cannot fucking believe how bad this team is playing right now. The only way they can go is up. The only place they can go is up. The amount of times Gallagher and Mount lost the ball yesterday, it was just shocking. Because I remember this game against Newcastle last year when Kai scored that goal. Newcastle had like one chance the whole game. I remember it vividly. We dominated the whole game. And then I look and I compare it to yesterday, and I'm like, oh my God, Oh my God, the disparity between the two games is profound.
Yeah.
Call
I
it a
mean,
good rebuild.
On that note, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. It's been quite a stream. I think we got a lot of our frustrations out, and we're looking forward to the transfer window, as you can tell. That's all
Who's that,
I'll
man?
to this.
Qatar, Ecuador. Let's go.
Qatar,
Real
Ecuador,
Real
World
football.
Cup coming in about a week time. But yeah, ladies and
Literally a week.
gents,
Literally a week.
yeah, literally
Less
a
than a
week
week.
away from
Yeah.
vacation from Chelsea.
Festival
But,
de football.
anyways, guys, make sure you're tuning in tomorrow. I believe we're gonna have a React stream tomorrow, so don't miss that. Don't miss out on that. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss it. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new to the channel. Smash the like button. You guys already know what to do. Check out the links in the description. Do all the great things that you do to support this channel. Big up to everyone in the panel that came in today, and big up to you guys that were in the chat and came in and participated on this. We're gonna do more of these in the future as well. Don't worry, I'll let you guys know ahead of time. But on that note, everyone,
Big up.
be safe. Big up yourselves. Stay sane. Be happy. Tune in tomorrow and stay casual. Peace.
Minerals out.